Welcome to the chat, everybody. What's up, Vashante, Triana 407, Jeanette Marie, and Curtis Wilson. Angela, my wrench gang, is in the building. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Today we're going to talk about the female narcissist. Can we do that today, y'all? So, you guys, I'm listening to, I'm all up on this camera. Okay, so I'm listening to Pandora today. Okay, so we might get a commercial or two. Okay, how is everybody feeling? I appreciate you, Curtis Wilson. Thank you for coming. So I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's feeling good today. I'm trying to catch the last little bit of sunlight that I can catch. And this is my first sip of wine for the night. So, you know, I hope y'all got something to enjoy while we enjoy one another. Let's talk about those female narcs, okay? Because I know I talk a lot about the male narcs, and of course, y'all know it's because that's the side of it that I've experienced. Now, don't get me wrong, I have experienced female narcissists, okay? But they haven't affected me. You know what I'm saying? As deeply as the male narcissists. I can't even say that they have. They were just easier for me to kind of dismiss or get over or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But anyway, we're going to talk about these female narcs, okay? And like I said, I'm listening to Pandora, you guys, so I might get a commercial here and there, but we ain't focusing on the music right now, okay? But before we talk about that, I want to show y'all my Rose of Jericho, okay? I don't know if y'all can y'all saw the video yet of the when I showed y'all the Rose of Jericho. It was all curled up and dried up. It hasn't even it's been about an hour that it's been in this water, and it's already beginning to open up and be beautiful. So I've been giving her some sun, and of course, like I said, I have 5 pennies from my Oshun altar in here. So she is getting all that magical energy, and she's already beginning to open up. So I wasn't going to show this to y'all. I was going to show it to my people on my crowdfunding sites, and her continued opening and growth I will show y'all. But as y'all can see, the entire front of her is already green. Okay, so she's loving the magical money energy and the water and the love energy and everything that I gave her. So right now she's in my bedroom with me. Okay, so I wanted to show y'all that. And then I also wanted to talk about, because somebody asked me about this jar. Okay, so my badasses who are subscribed to Badass Witch exclusive and Badass and Oshun Ajay exclusive, y'all know what this jar is, and it's not important what's in the jar and what this jar is, but what's important is what I'm trying to show y'all is around the edge of the jar. Okay, because somebody asked me, they said somebody else told them that these were tears around the edge of the jar, the way that it's the way that the wax is melted. Now those of you who are my in my classes, those of you who are on Badass Witch exclusive on YouTube, y'all know that I intentionally take my candles and I melt, I seal my jars this way with the wax. Okay, it's that old-fashioned wax seal. Okay, and so that good old hoodoo seal. Okay, and so as you can see, the top of the jar is not like where the wax melted down over the jar and just was sloppily melted over the jar. This was intentionally done. Okay, and it was intentionally done because these are not tears. These are intentions. Okay. So I teach my badasses to, with each drop, after you've dressed and inscribed your candle, after you've rolled the candle in your hand with your oils and herbs and your energy, and you've put your energy into your candle, you want to go around the edge and seal. You want to properly seal your jars. So with each drip of wax, you have put your intentions, and you're also speaking intentions over the jar as you are doing an energetic seal and a tangible wax seal on this jar. So, I don't know, these may be tears to another practitioner, but in my work, these are intentions. So every little drip that you see around this, sealing this jar, is an intention that's put into this jar. It's not a sloppy job that somebody just let melt down and it just went all over the jar and they said that my jar needed to be cleaned up. What people need to do is mind their own damn business. Okay, because anyone who has bought my jar workings know that my jars work, honey. So you know what I'm saying? People need to learn how to mind their own damn business. Okay, so on my jar, that is not tears, that is intentions. Okay, and it was intentionally done. Okay, so a lot of people who are whatever they focus are, they're focused on aesthetics, and they focus on what something looks like. Okay, on whether or not, and not on whether or not it's effective. Okay, so we focus on aesthetics when that is the focal point. Okay, but you know what I'm saying, when I have a jar, I have a certain focus. It's not about what the jar looks like, it's about whether the jar is going to render me my results or not. Okay, period. Okay, period. So I just wanted to address those things, you guys. So, and I'm glad that my people come to me and ask me instead of just listening to these random ass people who obviously, everything they talk about came from some damn where else, okay? Or they're reading or some bullshit like that. So, don't ever let anybody tell you about my work, because if you want to know about my work, ask me, okay? So, we're going to talk about the female narcissist, okay? So we all know female narcs, but a female narc is the one. She is the one who would sleep with your man, would sleep with her mother's man, would sleep with her sister's man. They have no loyalty. They're narcissists. Okay, they make horrible mothers. They because they're narcissists, so they come before anything. So a female narc as a mother would put herself before her children, and her children are just objects to help build up um her own false image. They may be horrible to their children at home, but out in the streets, they act and they put on the act of being a the perfect mother, because it's all about what you look like. And so their children have to fit into these little boxes that they put them in to help, make them look good. So a narc mother is the type who would have like Munchausen by proxy, okay, which is where a mother will keep causing harm to her child by doing shit like feeding them some sort of poison or making them sick in some kind of way or hurting them in some kind of way where they have to keep seeking medical attention just to get the damn attention. It is that bad, okay? They are that horrible, y'all. Female narcissists, like I said, female narcissists create the male narcissists that we deal with by being their mothers, by being their lovers, their wives, you know what I'm saying, their mates. They're very cold, just as cold as a male narc. So they're very promiscuous because they tend to use their sexuality, as a way to get what they want out of men. So this is why a lot of men come out and think that all women are promiscuous, and just call women hoes, okay, as if that's the everybody's nature. You know what I'm saying? And it is not. You know what I'm saying? Let me read some of these comments. Yeah, it's an act, Space Ghost. It's an act. It's all about the way that she looks to other people. So I'm sure she demands that you act a certain way too in certain environments or around certain people. And with these people, just watch them, because they will switch up. They have several different personalities because they are marvelous actors. They have several different personalities, and it'll switch up right in front of your eyes. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, completely different personality. So this is when you realize that you don't really know this person at all. The reason why you don't know them is because they don't know themselves. Okay. Female narcs, they lie repeatedly, just like the male narcs. So imagine a man who came into a relationship with good intentions and who encountered one of these crazy ass women, okay, who has no loyalty. I have known some. It's like no matter how good that man was to her, even matter of fact, the better that the man treats them, the more they need to get away from him, the more that he turns them off, okay, because certain people require, again, those low vibrating ass energy. So if you come in contact with any narcissist vibrating too high, they're going to reject you, okay. And yes, it's insanity, so don't try to make sense of it. It's never going to make sense. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. They're going to reject you, okay. And I'm gonna give y'all a secret about what they really want and what they like. I can't imagine why somebody would want to keep drawing these people back into your life, and why you would want them to keep wanting you. But I can tell you how. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna have to pay me. Okay, my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. No, but no, I have some secrets on how to deal with narcs, because I know how to deal with them. Like I told y'all, I'm not speaking from um I'm not speaking from learning from books, and I am speaking from that and from watching other people, but I'm also speaking from my own experience. Okay. So, you know, if you ever, because like I said, I believe in an eye for an eye, a tooth for a damn tooth. Okay. This is the only way you're ever going to be vindicated by a narcissist. Okay. I'm not saying start no war with them. I'm not saying to confront them or to none of that, because it's not worth it. But if you can, you know what I'm saying, make some shit happen, why wouldn't you? Okay. Because, it is, you know, it's more satisfying than just watching them continue to get away with things. You know what I'm saying? But you don't really have to make anything happen, because like I said, I have seen their demise. I have seen the end and the beginning. I've seen what happens to them. Okay. So get back to the female narcissist. Okay. They are the one who will act like she's pregnant once a man is tired of her. She might not really be pregnant, or she might really be pregnant. They'll get pregnant just to keep a man, to keep their little facade going. Okay. They will welcome Goddess Aset, Space Ghost, Angela, Triana, Annette Robinson, Vashante, and everybody else is going to be joining the chat. We're talking about the female narcissist and the traits and how to recognize them. Like I said, they the ones that they pregnant every time a man gets tired of them, or they, like I said, they'll bring a whole life into the world in efforts to trap a man or keep a man. They are the ones who are, they're usually attractive, and even if they're not naturally aesthetically attractive, they still work a lot on keeping themselves up. So they're the type who will always wear their makeup. You'll never see them without makeup. They don't believe in going outside without their makeup, without their hair done, or their wig, or their weave, or whatever the hell they wear. They're very focused on aesthetics. Okay. So they're the ones you'll see, you know, and they're always on social media, because again, a narcissist loves attention. So a female narc, you'll see they're the ones who always taking selfies. They're the ones who always publicizing shit about their lives on social media, on Facebook, on YouTube. They're the ones sitting up with these fake ass eyelashes, looking like the cartoon cows and shit off the cartoon. Like it's a spider. I'm like, damn, can you even see out them shits? Okay, but you know, everything's fake. You know what I'm saying? Everything's fake about them, and they're all about aesthetics. So it's all about how I look, and you know, it's all about, you know, how your jar looks. You know, you need to clean that up, you know, and I'm interpreting your shit as tears because I'm a sad ass motherfucker on the inside, you know, but that's, you know, no, you know what I'm saying? No, don't try to interpret my shit. Okay. Don't. Okay. Just like I said, people need to really stay in their lanes and mind their own damn business. I cannot stand people. And these are also females. There's a lot of female narcs on the tube, okay? Not just in this sector, but all over YouTube. That why are people so concerned about what everybody else doing on their channel? It's a lot of channels that would not exist if it were not for another bitch's channel. And not only that, you hating on the other person's channel, but this is how you make your living. Every day you tune into what this bitch is doing, and then you go on, and that's what your live stream is about. So if this bitch shut her shit down, what is your shit going to be about? These people have nothing to talk about. They ain't got shit else going on other than to be focused on what somebody else is doing. Now, as long as y'all been watching Oshun Ajay on all my old channels, on my bigger channels, on all of my channels, you will never hear me speaking about somebody else's work, what they're doing on a channel, unless of course they speak in my name, unless of course they have involved me. I'm not concerned with how and why, you know, another bitch's whether or not somebody else's work works. I'm not concerned with how they're doing their work. I'm not sitting here trying to criticize or figure it out. I don't give two shits about it. Okay, so I don't understand why, if other people got their own shit, they got their own magical stories, they got their own life, why is it that people keep coming over here? Okay, to my probably one of the smaller channels on here, and keep coming over here, but they want to talk about what the hell I'm talking about. Because I know good and damn well that I didn't get my shit from any of them, because I'm, you know, that ain't what I do. You know what I'm saying? My mind generates my own thoughts. I don't understand why other people's minds ain't generating theirs. It's like, okay, you can watch other people's shit, but do you really need to click the camera on and start talking about what you've seen on their channel and how they ain't doing right? That's a narc ass bitch. Okay. And excuse my French, and let me digress, but that's a narc. Okay. Narc ass females, they're always in competition. So, you know, if you're not narcissistic in nature, which I said, Most of the world is narcissistic in nature. So we have a lot of jealous hearted ass people. It's just their nature to be jealous hearted. So if you've been all your life having people be jealous of you and shit, I know that you've never really been able to figure out what the hell they jealous of or why. And the thing is to stop trying to stop trying to figure it out. Because again, these motherfuckers are insane. Okay, so it's nothing that you can figure out. Their insanity and all the shit that they jealous of and all the shit, that shit exists within their own minds. And they mad at you for triggering an insecurity within them, a dissatisfaction with self within them. So recognize it for what it is. Okay. And just like I said, let them move around because it's dissatisfaction with self. It has nothing whatsoever to do with you. So don't try to figure it out. You didn't do anything but be yourself to trigger these people's insecurities. Okay. To trigger they damn insanity. It's as simple as that. Okay. So I want to show y'all my Rose of Jericho. And it's only been in here for a little over an hour, you guys, and it's already green, okay? And it's because I put the magical pennies off of my altar in the water, and I gave it a little bit of sun because they don't need direct sun. I'm reading y'all. They are possessed. They not authentic. You know what I'm saying? You can tell people, they see, the thing is, it's really insulting because they seem to think that people are stupid, like the viewers. People can tell whether or not a bitch just clicked on Google and like read some shit, or you read the covering of a book or something, like that front cover, and then you come on here trying to divulge some shit and you can't really go deep on it. You're just on the surface like a mother, and people sit here thirsty for the information and they want more because most people already know that shit that you're talking about. They waiting for you to break it down. They waiting for you to go deeper, and these bitches never go deeper because they not deep. Okay. And I hate to even be coming on here and discussing what anybody else is doing because I don't really care. If it worked for them, let it work for them. I'm not a jealous hearted bitch. I'm not a hater. I support all women, but I'm so tired of hearing shit coming back to me from motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Why are you even focused on me? You know what I'm saying? Why are you focused on me? But anyway, I'm gonna let them keep focusing. But at the end of the day, if you ever hear bitch talking about some shit that don't seem like that it's their caliber, it's deeper than what you know this bitch is, come back around and check on my channel. Okay? Check through my videos. Because I promise you, this is where the gold mine is. And I'm not being egotistical when I say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that nobody else, a lot of people are teaching some wonderful shit. But I don't appreciate the same motherfuckers that come over here and try to steal my ideas and try to steal my content and then have the nerve to have some shit to say. You know what I'm saying? On the side. Like you sneak this and you hating. What is the reason? You get so sick of it. Like, why people can't mind their own damn business? Because Oshun Ajay ain't in nobody's business but Oshun Ajay's business. So if you're not speaking my name, if you're not in, you know what I'm saying? If you're not invading my personal space, I don't give no shit about what you're doing on your channel. You know what I'm saying? Because I could really drag a lot of bitches through these YouTube streets with the things that I know, with the things that I see. Okay, but it's not that deep for me. I'm not a jealous, vindictive, hateful ass bitch. So, like I said, if you want to know something about me, my work, come and ask me. And I appreciate my people when they come and ask me and come and let me know what's going on out in these streets. Because I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not focusing on nobody else's shit, trying to negate what they're doing and trying to put nobody else down. Because that ain't how you win out here. Okay, that's why bitches ain't winning. Okay, I don't, appearances don't mean anything when a person can see through that. Okay, so like I said, people, these surface ass bitches, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I mind my business. I don't post that much. I don't even be on here. My channel's small, and bitches still mad and still hating. You know what I'm saying? But it just comes with the territory. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But again, on the subject of the female narc, okay? They lie all the time to their men. This is why men don't trust a lot of women, because they've dealt with female narcs, but half of the time it's their own damn fault because they're a narc themselves, which is why they picked that shallow ass woman because they had shallow ass values. Again, female narcs spend more time on their aesthetics than they do on the core and the inner being, than they do on their own spirit and soul. They don't work on that at all. They're completely focused on bullshit. They're focused on bullshit, and then the shit that they're focused on, it's fake too. Like normally, if a woman's going to be natural, she's going to wear her real hair, her real nails. You know, she ain't wearing makeup and shit like that every day. She ain't doing all that false ass shit. They tend to be. These are not the type that a narc male will go after. A narc male will go after the type that wears the wigs and the weaves and don't go nowhere without the makeup and is all about aesthetics. So then at the end of the day, then they end up mad at one another because that's all you have. You know what I'm saying? Is a shell, a doll, a toy to play with. You know what I'm saying? An arm piece. Okay, but what about when you need, a home cooked meal? You know what I'm saying? What about when you need to talk about, how you felt when you lost your loved ones? What about when you need some support? What about when you need to be uplifted? When you know what I'm saying? What about when you need some real magic, honey? You know what I'm saying? Then those people, you need somebody that has some substance to them. Okay. And there are beautiful women who also have substance. So again, we vibrate on the level of people that we deal with. So usually a male narc will attract a female narc because they own the same vibration. The male narc is looking to purchase him an arm piece, a toy, a doll. And the female narc is looking to use her beauty and her femininity and her sexuality to trap a man, to get what he can get him to give what she wants. Like I said, a connection between a narcissist and anybody is but a transaction. Okay, but when it's between a male and a female narcs, or two narcs trying to, connect romantically, they both know and are aware of the fact that it's a transaction. Okay, when they try to connect with a person who has a soul, okay, with an empath, or a person who just has feelings, somebody's going to feel like something is off because um the one person is in it not for it to be a transaction. They're looking for it to be a relationship, which means there's a mutual give and take of energies, and there's a sharpening of iron that takes place with one another. So you're looking together, in a normal relationship, you're looking to grow together, you're looking to learn shit, you're looking to learn something, because you know what I'm saying, I love a man who can teach me something that I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? That's what turns me on, intelligence. Okay. And I love a man who can play some music. I love musicians and singers. I love people who are I was going to say artistic. You know what I'm saying? The singers, the dancers, you know what I'm saying? The artists, the poets. Okay. I love people who use their mind in a different way. Okay. So I'm what is called sapiosexual, which means I'm attracted to intelligence. Okay. And so, that's the level of people that I will gravitate to. Okay. And if you start to try to deal with somebody who's not on your equally yoked, who's not vibrating at the same frequency, then you're going to feel unfulfilled. So most people who are empathic feel extremely unfulfilled in a relationship with a narcissist because they ain't got shit to offer you. Okay, a narcissist, an empath, we thrive off of the fruits of the spirit. Okay, and the narcissist, they don't have any of that. So you feel completely deprived and empty in those types of relationships. Female narcissists, they put themselves even before their own children. So the female narc will be the one who won't listen to her daughter when her daughter is telling her that someone has molested her, or has been trying to touch her, or has been coming at her the wrong way. She'll most likely blame the daughter if it's in fact her husband or her man. Okay. They are so selfish. Like there's no empathy, not even for their own children. They're like animals. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they'll use their sexuality to get anything. So they're very promiscuous. You know what I'm saying? They're like I said, they don't care who they hurt. So they usually have more than one partner. They're usually cheating, and they're usually doing it to get some out of it. They don't care about any of the people. Very cold, very savage. And in this day and age, a lot of people pride themselves on being this female narc savage image. Okay. And so, they damage the other people and the other people damage that, and so on and so on. And so it's a cycle of hurt people hurting people. You know what I'm saying? The female narc is not anybody's friend. Okay, the bitch will turn on you at any opportunity, because the whole time that you've been being friends with her, she's been jealous of you. Okay, I don't care how beautiful a bitch might be. I don't care how beautiful. Hey, Saffron. Hey, everybody in the chat. I don't care how beautiful a woman might be. She's still jealous. Okay. They're jealous of every woman that they hang with. Another thing about female narcs is that they pick their friends very carefully. So normally they will pick friends who are not as attractive as them. They want you to be attractive because they want you to, be on their level, but they also don't want you to be as attractive as they are, or more attractive. So because they're very insecure. I don't care how beautiful a woman is. If they're a narc, they are insecure. Okay, and they will be jealous of you no matter what. So these are the type who will sleep with your man just to prove that they can. And then they don't get the satisfaction of doing it unless the person whose man they slept with, unless you find out. So they're the type who will sleep with your man. Nobody ever knew that it happened. And then they feel the need to come tell you because it's just tearing them up inside. What's tearing them up inside is the fact that you have not found out, and they don't get to see the pain that they've caused you. Okay, these bitches are nobody's friends. Okay, and I'm sure some of y'all have experienced them. They don't care. They're for themselves. And if you listen to their conversations, they don't really try to hide it. Okay, they let you know that this is what they're about. So they, like I said, they'll switch up personalities on you at any time. Anytime they get caught lying, they're gonna break down crying. That's their go-to reaction. Okay, because female narcs, they tend to be so damn stupid. They're all stupid. The men and the females are stupid, so they'll end up telling lies that don't really make sense, and they get backed into corners by their lies. So when they get backed into these corners, the only thing they can do, because you might have two or three people in your face, like, bitch, why you lying? No, you said this, you said this. Okay, because this is what females tend to do. We tend to get together and match up notes and be like, no, that ain't what was told to me, and that ain't what was told to me. And usually the gossiping ass, shit stirring, pot stirring ass narc in the group or in the situation ends up getting called to the table, backed into a corner by their truth. So what they always gonna do is try to break out crying. Okay, because this is what worked with their parents when they were a child. This is what has always worked. This is what works with their man. You know what I'm saying? When he catches their asses lying, especially if they have an empathic man, every time that he catches their asses doing something, this is what they gonna do: break down crying and make him feel guilty and make him blame him for everything, the same way that men do. Okay. It's a good thing when you think about these narc men who have, messed over empathic women, or the narc women who have messed over empathic men running into another narc. Okay, that's the best gift that they could get, is a dose of their own damn medicine. So there's a lot of relationships where you have two narc people in a relationship. These usually tend to be, I'm not gonna say all in every situation, but a lot of these end up being relationships where the people usually have money. They're usually middle to upper class, and they got into the relationship just to keep up appearances. A lot of times both people in the relationship will be gay or bisexual, and they don't really have a sexual relationship. They're swingers. They are have open relationships, and they're just friends, if they're even that. Okay, but they're in it for the financial ties that they have with one another and to keep up appearances. This is what narcs are all about. And I have known people on this level too. And at the end of the day, these people are miserable. If you go into their houses they may have a lot of things. They may be very nice things, but the energy in it just feels like an empty house. So it's a house and not a home. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of atmosphere that a narcissist will create. Okay, just an empty space. So imagine what they feel like when they have to spend time alone. They feel that utter and deep emptiness, that blackness that is not filled with things like the blackness that we know about, but the blackness that is complete and total emptiness. Okay. They are terrified of it. That is why a narcissist will always cheat. Okay. They will always have they're never with one person at one time. They all cheat because they always want to keep one on the reserve, because they literally feel that they will die if they have to be alone. Okay, so think back on the narcs that you know in your life. Has there ever really been any space between their partners? Has there ever been any space between their partners? Or did they already have that next one before they let go of the first one? Okay, if it was your narc, if it was your brother, if it was your somebody in your family, think about their pattern of relationships, because they're creatures of habit. They are all very predictable, and they all do the same thing. They all lie, they all cheat, they all gaslight you. They're all irresponsible, they're all disloyal, they're all cruel. Okay, they all have rages, they all throw tantrums, they all give the silent treatment. They're all a bunch of bullshit artists. And this is why I know that it is a particular spirit. Okay, when something is this predictable in its behavior, okay, to where I could tell y'all some stories and you would swear that I pulled it right out of your life. Okay, because they all do the same thing, because they're all inflicted with that same spirit. Okay, some have named narcissists, you know what I'm saying, and others call the spirit by all kinds of different names, but it is definitely a spirit. Okay, the fact that there's names for their behavior, and that their behavior is so predictable. So whether it's a male, female, and no matter what capacity that you have a narc in your life, they all do the same things. They put themselves first. They don't care about anybody, not even their own children, not even their own parents. Okay, the people who treat them the best in their lives are the ones who get the worst treatment. They put on an act for everybody else, but when they get around the people that love them, they act a damn fool. They turn into the devil, literally. So female narc mothers allow their daughters to be abused. They are jealous of their daughters. They hate their daughters on some level, because they see their daughters as a reflection of themselves. And I know a lot of y'all can relate to what I'm talking about, because I know a lot of y'all have suffered it. Okay, I can feel it. Your mother, you never knew why your mother seemed to hate you, why it felt like your mother hated you. It's because she hates herself. All narcs hate themselves. And when they see something that is a reflection of themselves, just like a mirror, they are going to try to destroy you. So if you don't understand why your mother all of your life has tried to destroy you, tried to destroy your relationships, tried to ruin your career, has seemed to literally hate you, it's because that they have so many unhealed parts of themselves. I'm loving, because y'all, I keep glancing over here because I feel the energy of my Rose of Jericho. I'm so happy, and the energy of it is so beautiful and magical, and it's already opening, and I'm gonna keep showing it to y'all, because it wasn't that long ago that I just showed y'all, and it was curled up and it was brown, and now it's green. So this is going to be beautiful. It is going in my altar room when I'm done with it. But for now, I'm going to keep it in here with me because I love it. So anyway, um, where was I? So yeah, the female narc, they are horrible people. They're horrible mothers. They hurt the few good men that we have left. Yeah, that's how female narc mothers is. That's how they are. I mean, one of my cousins, she couldn't even stay in the house after she was 16 because of her mom's husband. So she stayed with us most of the time, or she was out in the street. She had to get her own place. You know what I'm saying? At a very young age, because her mother wanted her out of the house because she was worried about her man looking at her. Okay, so those types of women, and y'all all know them. Those are female narcissists. Okay, they will buy themselves nice clothes. They eat the best of food, but their kids will eat low grade foods, low quality food. Okay, but their kids will wear low quality clothing. Okay, they will have nice furniture and shit in their houses, but you can't touch it, you can't sit on it. It's just to look at, because everything in their lives is just to look at. Okay, so they're very superficial people. Okay, very superficial and shallow. And really, at the end of the day, they're not worth anything to a man, not even to a man, not to their children, not to any of the ways and the capacity that a woman is supposed to be, as far as being a nurturer. Okay, because this is what we are here to do. We're the nurturers of humanity. So we should be able to, how to take care of other people. So it's so detrimental for a woman to have become a narcissist. But narcissists create other narcissists. Okay, anybody who's been abused by a narcissist is at risk of also becoming one, because as your defense mechanisms go up, depending upon which mechanisms you use to defend yourself against these damn devils, you are at risk of becoming a narc yourself in efforts to defend yourself against these devils. So it's a very thin line. It's a very you have to be balanced. Okay, like there's people out here talking about you got to be almost 100% good and 50% bad. No, these narcs will chew your ass up and spit you out. And if you've been trying to be that, then that explains where the hell you at and what has the things that have gonna happen to you at the hands of these motherfuckers. Okay, if you want to be protected, you have to be able to step over into the dark side, okay, and confront these motherfuckers. You don't sit here and wait to be attacked. Okay, you don't wait to be attacked. Sometimes you got to go on the offense, okay, and get their asses before they get you. Sometimes you got to go in there with a Trojan horse, okay, like you on their side, like you're their friend. You have to know the art of war. Okay, you cannot be up here talking about no love and light, because they will chew your ass up and spit your ass out. Okay, that's what happens. Okay, they will nail your ass up on a cross and kill you before your congregation and have them waiting for you to come back. Okay, or you can go out like a G, like a goddess. Okay, like a warrior goddess. Okay, and you can go in and handle their asses, because see, it is not meant that they should be. So it's okay to go take them out. See, that's what's going to happen at the end of the day anyway. Okay. So why wait for them to come for you? See, sometimes you have to go on the offense. Okay. And you got to do what you got to do to make shit happen. Sometimes you have to be the one to set it off, like Omarosa. Okay. Because what Omarosa set off in the government has not stopped its domino effect yet. And it's not going to stop until Omo Oshun has had her way with these demons. Okay. But back to the subject. Let me read some of y'all comments. Mother, yeah, they're female narcs, they're always in competition, even with their own daughters. Okay, they don't, because they don't have that connection. They don't have the maternal instinct towards their children that they should have. They don't have it. And so as you grow up and them not seeing you as their child and loving you as their reflection, they see you as any other bitch on the street that's trying to take their man, because they're also extremely insecure. Okay, because and it's I mean, you can describe these traits and try to make sense of it, but at the end of the day, it's just pure evil. It's a level of demonic possession. Okay, I know how cruel these mothers can be to their own daughters. I know the damage that they can do and that they have done to a lot of women in this world. Okay, and to their sons. Okay, look at motherfuckers, like look at Tommy Sotomayor. I'm sure, I promise you, his mother was a narc. Okay, probably a dark skinned black lady. Okay, because that's what he hates the most, and it's apparent in the way that he acts, and in his assumptions, and his his just overall disposition about black women. He calls black women BT 1000s, which I think that's funny. It's not funny, but I don't really know what a BT 1000, what it stands for. But I know it's like some type of model of like ratchet, cussing ass, loud, belligerent, uneducated, poor black woman. That's, his stereotype, because he's taken on, the white supremacist ideologies, and that's all he talks about on his show. He just parrots white supremacist bullshit, okay? But sitting up there black as hell, but parroting these white supremacists because he has a deep-seated hatred for black women, because his mother, a black woman, I guarantee you, was a narcissist, okay? So they ruin their children, so their children come out being narcissists as well, okay? So that's why the world is full of them, okay? But the thing about it is we just have to learn how to recognize these people and how to deal with them, because they are diabolical, and you don't have a choice but to deal with them. They're sitting right next to you at the dinner table, they're sitting next to you on the couch, they're in your bed, they're next to you in the next cubicle at work, in the next office. You know what I'm saying? They're your next door neighbors. They're next to you in traffic. And they do shit like drive recklessly because they drive according to their emotions. So they're the ones out here causing accidents and driving people off bridges and shit like that because they have no impulse control. So if they're angry and they're in the car, they're going to drive just like the way that they feel. Okay? This is why you have to get away from these people. They are dangerous. They're reckless. They do not think. Their emotions drive them. So when they get angry, that's why they go off into those rages. They build that up. Like it could be the smallest little thing, and they just will keep on going over it and over it until they've got enough anger in them that they can't be calmed down. It's like revving up an engine, okay? And to see a female narcissist do that with her children, it's like Mommy Dearest, okay? Mommy Dearest, what was her name? Joan Crawford. She was a perfect example of a female narc. She would beat the hell out of her daughter, but the son never really got anything. He never got beat and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And she was insane. Okay. All of these impossible demands that they put on other people, but they don't hold themselves to that same rule of thumb. They will do some what I'm saying? They will do the worst shit to another person and have the nerve. They will say they have been doing the bad shit, say they're in a relationship and they've been doing horrible things to the other person for years. And then the other person finally snaps and does something horrible back to them one time. That will be the end of the relationship because they will demand an apology from that person, from the person who finally snapped. But they never apologized once for the million times that they did a million times worse than that person. So they expect so much more from you than what they give out. They're not going to exert themselves in any sort of way to satisfy their children, their partners, or anybody else. If it takes for them to do any kind of work, whether it's physical labor, whether it's work on my own self, on my fucked up personality, on my, you know what I'm saying, on my evil ways, they're not going to do it. They would rather pack their shit and move out or get put the hell out than to do any work on themselves to make anything work for their children. So a lot of the women who end up losing their children because they won't get this man out of their house who's molesting their daughters, or who's beating their daughters, or beating their son, or molesting their son, or beating their asses in front of their children, you know what I'm saying, or selling drugs out of your house, or doing anything that shouldn't be happening over your children. A lot of narc women lose their children because they would rather have their satisfaction of having this man to have sex with and to do whatever you want from him for your own personal needs. You rather have that than to make sure that your children, you can be there for your children, that you can make a safe home for your children, to make sure your children are not in harm's way. Okay, so these are the women who should not have ever been mothers. Okay, they don't deserve to, have charge over another life. Some of the children that they brought into the world specifically for a reason to control a man or trap a man or to get money. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of those children end up having disabilities, or the woman ends up having some sort of problems. You know what I'm saying? Some sort of problems, uterine problems, and not able to have any more children, or cancer, in their female parts because they have misused them. Okay. And they have done the wrong, you have put the wrong intentions into everything that you're doing. So that's going to manifest on the physical level as something that ain't right. Okay. And people don't connect these things. But female narcissists have caused a lot of damage in this world as well. They're still causing damage. They're the ones who, that's what you would really call a bitch, like an older, woman who's lived long enough to know better and is still doing shit that you was doing 20 years ago, and you're unhealed from all of the things that you should have taken the time to, have introspection on, to work on yourself, to purge from yourself, and to correct within yourself. If they haven't done that, because just like the male narc, just like any other narc, they refuse to face the things within them that they need to fix. And you cannot fix what you won't face. So they don't grow, they don't heal. So, the true meaning of a bitch is that unhealed, bitter, angry, jealous ass person. And that's a man or a woman. You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up as a child, people didn't used to call men bitches because there weren't many men that were bitches. Okay. I remember the first time I heard somebody call a man a bitch. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. I was about 8 years old. I had never heard anybody call a man a bitch. Not saying that women should be getting called bitches, but I'd never heard anybody call a man one. But these days, it's common because there's a lot of males that are bitches, not gay males, not just gay males. There's a lot of upstanding gay men that handle their motherfucking business. They're even more of a man than some of these motherfuckers that claim to be straight. Okay, but there's a lot of bitch ass males out here. You know what I'm saying? And so, if the leash fits, wear it. Okay. Let me check this out. They are alcohol. Yes, a lot of narc mothers tend to be alcoholics. A lot of narcissists, period, tend to have drug addictions or alcoholics. And when they drink, it's like, because when anybody drinks, your mind is impaired. So when they drink, the demon is able to take over them even more. And I'm sure anybody who's lived with these people, that that's not your loved one. That that's something else. Their eyes go completely dark and their faces change into something else. I mean, so I believe the person is in here now. Several people have told me, that they have seen a person's face morph right in front of them, because that's how much dominion they have given to this demon over their soul, over their spirit. Okay. So again, a narc is someone who has allowed the ego to completely consume them. Okay. And now I'm going to say, the fact that the ego has consumed them, it's a very shallow and empty space holder, that when you're nothing but an ego, then you're very open and susceptible to possession, because there's nothing there to keep it out. You know what I'm saying? And so you can see these people, like I said, the reason I, being a witch, an empath, a spiritualist, talk about this psychological term, narcissism, is because narcissism is not a psychological affliction. It is a spiritual affliction that affects, you psychologically. And so it must be dealt with on the spiritual plane. Okay. There is nothing that you can do on a medical level, on any other level. This is a spiritual affliction. Okay. Let me read some of your comments. Annette, well, the video will be there. Okay, so are you trying to watch Love and Hip Hop, girl? I don't blame you. Okay, because this video will be here. That's why I make videos, so y'all can come back and watch it. So I'm not offended at all. Okay. Men are the biggest bitches on the planet and have been for the last 2,000 years. I don't disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you mean back in the day? You can disagree with it. I'm not. I don't need to be agreed with. I'm just saying from what I remember and my experience. I didn't remember men being called bitches. Like I said, it was funny. Not saying that men have not been bitches, but I don't remember people calling men bitches until I was about 8 years old. Because I remember the first time I heard somebody do it, and I thought it was funny as hell because I had never heard it. And like I said, I don't remember the men in my life and the men in my family, or must be the exception to the rule, because the men in my family do take care of their children. They do take care of their wives and their families. So when I encountered all these bitch ass men out here who actually expect women to take care of them, or expect you to be a roommate with them paying half of the bills and shit like that, I was disgusted, because, from my grandfather, from my uncles, from my dad, from everybody on down, my stepfather, everybody, they handle their damn business. You know what I'm saying? And so, not for the, I'm not saying everybody, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I got some cousins that's punk ass. I got some people in my family that don't do what they're supposed to do because they are of this younger generation. But see, my family's from the South, and the men in my family, they automatically know. Okay. My grandfather knew. My grandfather had 13 damn children and took care of all of them. You know what I'm saying? So this is the type of family that I come from. And so all of my family has a lot of, I come from a big family. And the men in my family, they marry their wives, they take care of their children. I mean, my brother has two grown sons, and he's the only man that I know. I'm serious, it's sad. The only man that I know who was on, paid his child support to where he was never like forcefully made to pay child support. Like, he set it up. He made sure that he paid it so that his sons had what they need. Plus, he had his sons most of the damn time. So, you know what I'm saying? He was giving the mothers money when he was had the children. Okay. So he paid his child support up until the sons got grown, was never in arrears, never had nobody taking nothing out of his check, never did all that. So I don't come from those types of people. So I've never heard anybody calling a man a bitch. And so that's why I am disgusted by men that are bitch ass. You know what I'm saying? As far as not handling responsibilities and doing shit like narcissistically abusing women, putting the weight on the women, stressing a woman out, you know what I'm saying? Having her worried about the bills, and you know what I'm saying? Will use up all her money and then walk away with your money. Just all the bitch ass shit that men do. Okay. And women do it as well. But a lot of times with the woman, she has done, she knows what she's getting into. If you got into it and you said, I'm gonna have some kids by this motherfucker just to lock him into a marriage or to get his money or whatever, and then you end up, something wrong with your uterus, or you know what I'm saying? God forbid something is wrong with the child or the marriage, you end up in some kind of messed up situation. You kind of knew what you were getting into going into it. On the other hand, a lot of empathic women get into these relationships with men and with narc men, and you don't know it because they put on this act and play this role, and you fall into it, and by then you've fallen in love with this false person, and then the mask begins to slide off. So I understand that. At the same time, no matter which end of it you're on, you have to let these people go, because at the end of the day, they don't love you. They hate you. Okay, they hate you. They're competing with you. They're not on your team. Okay, so when you're in a relationship, it's supposed to be team us, right? Team us. And they're never going to be team us with you, because they are competing with you. So any advancements you make for yourself, any accomplishments, they are seething in jealousy secretly and are going to try to sabotage it in some kind of way. They might not, like, at the moment when you announce you got, this promotion, you got something new going for yourself, they might not right off let you see that jealousy, but let an argument pop off, or let you bring up something that they need to work on, or something about themselves, then that's when all the insults and all the bullshit's gonna come out about, yeah, you think you better than me because you got this, and so they're jealous hearted. They're always competing. A female narc, she's competing with all of her friends. Okay, so if y'all go out in a group, if you hang out in a group, they're always competing. They don't say it, but you can tell. They always looking everybody up and down to see what they're wearing. They're always looking at what kind of purse you got, how you did your makeup. They're comparing everything. Okay, those kind of people are stressful to be around, because a normal person, we ain't thinking about all that. We just trying to hang out and enjoy one another's company. But these people, they're always comparing, they're always competing. And if they don't feel like they are on the top, then they're going to be trying to throw little backhanded little comments and backhanded compliments and, sneak dissing and shit in front of people, because they are very insecure. Okay, so I'm sure y'all have had people around like that. Say that you're, you with your female friends and you get around some men, they doing little shit to try to embarrass you. You know what I'm saying? Doing little shit to try to, you know what I'm saying? Just try to front on you in front of these people. It's because they're insecure. So they feel like they need to bring you down to where they are. Okay, so just understand that. Don't take it personally. Recognize it for what it is, which is dissatisfaction with self. Know that they are a narc. They don't mean you any well, and cut these people out of your life ASAP. Okay, of course, a lot of them you're not going to be able to do it immediately. Some of them you can't do it because it's your sister. It's your, you know what I'm saying? It's somebody that you cannot disconnect yourself from, but you can distance yourself and you can protect yourself because these people are always on the attack and they're always competing with you. So just understand that. A female narc is competing, whether it's her sisters, her mama, her daughter. They don't care because there's no connection. There's no empathic connection with anybody. Okay, when somebody ain't even connecting with their own children, they ain't connecting with nobody, which means these people are capable of anything. Okay, a male narc or a female narc, and anybody beyond that, as far as being a sociopath or a psychopath, any of these people are capable of anything. Okay, they are capable of taking another person's life, taking a child's life, taking their own life, okay, and of taking yours. So just be aware of that. I'm teaching about this, to prevent a lot of people from going through shit that, you know what I'm saying, that is unnecessary. If you can spot these traits in the people that you're dealing with right now, please do not ignore it, because you can save yourself a whole world and lifetime of pain. Okay, because these people will put you through a level of pain that you didn't even imagine existed. Okay, you know how your face gets ugly when you're crying? They will take your face to a whole nother level. Okay, because you can't imagine that another human being could be as cruel as these people have been and can be. Okay, a lot of people who have been through narcissistic abuse have not told their most humiliating stories to anyone, because no one would be able to fathom and wrap their minds around the level of cruelty that a narc, can dish out to a person. And the thing about it is that they can dish it out, but they damn sure can't take it. Some narcs will jump up and run out of the room if you say so much as the word "you" in a conversation. That's how hypersensitive they are, but then have the nerve on the other end to be as cruel as Satan himself. So there's nothing that's redeemable about these people. There's nothing beneficial about them that you should be trying to hold on to resurrect. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to do but learn from them and continue to, to continue to move on and to grow and to let them go. Okay. And, but if they're, if there's, if you are, have been hurt, extremely deeply, and you feel like you would get some satisfaction out of being able to um torture their asses mentally and emotionally the way that they have done you, um hit me up at badasswitches@gmail.com. And I'm not speaking about doing spell work on these people or anything like that. I'm talking about certain tactics that you can use, because I know what a narc desires and what they want. So in order to make them want you, in order to make them want to be obsessed with having you back, why somebody would want this, um I'm not going to say I don't understand it, because if I didn't understand it, I wouldn't be trying to help you. But what I'm going to suggest is that you don't take them back. What I want y'all to do is, if you're going to do it, um don't take them back. But if you want to torture them and make them want you so you can be the one to cut the shit off and make them feel the way that they made you feel when they left without an explanation, with no closure, when they financially devastated you, if you want the opportunity just to gain that upper hand so that you can be the one, okay, because that is how you torture them. Their worst fear is being abandoned. This is why they they end relationships the way they do, because they imagine that that's your worst fear too. So they will always make sure that the end of a relationship, they can never end a relationship and like try to still be friends or try to still be cordial. They have to cause destruction and disaster, and they have to hate you. So if you want to end it, even if you come to them in the most mature way, this is why a lot of women are afraid to even tell their man they want to leave, because most men, the ones who get violent, they'll explode, they'll get violent, and it's just going to be a disaster. Okay. And the ones who don't, they going to do something else, like try to destroy you, try to cause you to lose your place to live, lose your car, lose your job. They going to try to do something to you. They cannot leave peacefully. Okay. So, the thing to do, so usually they have left you in just a heightened state of anxiety and stress because of the way that they end things. So a lot of people still, this is where the anger and the frustration comes from at the ending of a relationship with one, and I'm not just meaning just a romantic relationship. Even if you was your parent and they put you out of the house or they did whatever they did, they were wrong. Okay. So there are ways to make these people regret what they've done, and to also make them want that connection with you, just so you can reject their asses. Okay. Now, I'm not suggesting that you take this stance. I'm just offering it as an option, because I don't feel like we should sit around and just be victims of people's shit and be sending prayers outside of yourself, when God is within you and is going to work through you in order to, you know what I'm saying, in order to fix things. So, if you are interested, I can give you some pointers on how to at least turn the tables, so that you're not feeling devastated by what has happened. Okay, you do feel a little bit better when you feel like, you know what I'm saying, you are not the one who gave up everything and lost everything, and they just moving on. Okay, because they're not going to give you anything, and they're not going to be right about anything. They're always going to do things the wrong way. So in order for you to feel a little bit more vindicated, I can show you how to, you know what I'm saying, mentally leave they asses in distress as well. Okay. It's not going to change anything for you, but you do feel a little bit better. Okay. If you don't feel like that approach would help you to feel better, then don't do it. Simple as that. Okay. But so I'm gonna let you guys go. I wanted to talk about the female narc. It's you have to restore yourself, you have to avenge yourself at times, you have to vindicate yourself at times. And a lot of people, because even me, when I before I would ever do anything like that for myself, I would always sit around and wonder and feel like I might be wrong for you know what I'm saying, getting the motherfucker back for the shit that they've done to me, because that has been drilled into your head. Is for you to forgive your enemies. But guess what? The enemy wrote that down for you so that they can continue to abuse you without any retaliation. And it has worked very well for people. Okay. People suppress their own natural, instinct to, you know what I'm saying, to defend yourself, okay, to protect yourself. And so you know what I'm saying, it again, if you want to know how to get these motherfuckers back at least a little bit, you know what I'm saying, to turn the tables, like I said, hit me up at badasswitches@gmail.com. Okay. So I was going to do Nipsey Hussle today on Badass Tarot 2. I still might try to do it tonight, you guys, but if not, I'm gonna do it first thing in the morning, because I still have two people that I owe readings to. So if you guys are in here, I will be getting to y'all too by first thing in the morning. Okay, one of y'all I'm gonna do tonight, probably do the other one in the morning. If there's anything y'all want me to touch on, any topics, send me a message through my email, or leave me a comment under this video, and I will come back. I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to try to do a live stream, come in here more often. Now that I have a little bit more time and I have a lot of my client works squared away. Okay, so I am working on a crown of success ritual right now, and then some other lighter workings. So I do have some time right now. So until we meet again, my people, thank everybody for stopping by. Thank everybody in the chat. I am going to read your comments before I go, see if I can answer any questions if you guys had any. And until we meet again, keep it classy, keep it clean, and do what you got to do to make shit happen. And I'm going to read these before I go. Okay. And I love you guys. Self-care is absolutely important. Okay. It is essential, because you have to love yourself, before you can even try to love anybody else or allow anybody else to love you. Because if you don't love yourself, you don't know what love feels like, and you will accept anything. So focus on the self, you know what I'm saying, first. Because when you love yourself a certain way, when you take care of yourself a certain way, you when anybody else comes into your life, they will automatically know that they have to love you a certain way and take care of you a certain way when they see the way that you take care of yourself. So it is very important, essential, to have self-love and self-care first. Oh yeah. Emphy Starsky, children of narcs, it tend to be, end up, especially if you've been able to separate from them, but you know, they end up being very self-sufficient. They end up being stronger than the average person, because of what they've been through and what they've had to deal with. If they are, given the proper environment and given the proper understanding of what's happening, if they understand that this is not their fault, but something that's wrong with the other person, and that it's not that the other person does not love them. It's not that their parent does not love them, but their parent is most likely doing what was done to them. Okay, so it's not their fault. It's not anything that falls on them being a bad person or not good enough. Once that understanding sinks in, then they're able to see it from a better perspective, and they usually end up being very strong, self-sufficient people. So you being there and being a strong support system is important. And a lot of children of narcs end up trying to help other people, and like, running like support groups and things like that. Because when you learn it at a young age, and you're aware of what's going on at a young age, you tend to participate more in your own healing process. And then most people who have been through narcissistic abuse, once you have begun to heal, or you feel that you have healed from it, you are compelled to want to reach back and help other people. So those are the people that you usually see being the heads of support groups and things like that. So, I would say, as long as you're being a strong support to your child, and like I said, ingrain those understandings that it's not your fault, and that they are not doing this because they don't love you or they hate you, but this is probably what was done to them, and this is a sickness that they need to overcome and they need to heal from. Okay. Yes. This is why I am, and you're welcome, Enfy Star. See, that's why I'm here. And that's also why I'm starting my support group. Okay, my No Narc Network, which is a support group for empaths and narcissistic abuse survivors. And that is going to be, you can join it by joining my crowdfunding site. So you would have to subscribe to me on the Oshun Ajay exclusive on Patreon, or Badass Witch exclusive on Subscribe Star. And I'm going to be starting that as soon as I get my 5 people. I need 5 more people on Patreon. I'm going to go ahead and start the group, and we'll be doing nightly live streams. There'll be private live streams, and I want everything in that group to be private, so that we can be open and honest, and be supportive with one another, and to also give resources and suggestions on how to help one another get through dealing with this, and helping our children deal with it, and how to when we're trying to end these relationships, or trying to deal with having narc parents, or whatever capacity that we're dealing with them in. Anybody who's dealing with this does need a support group of people who actually have been through it or are going through it, because most people are going to sit in judgment of what you're going through, is when you tell them your story, or they're just simply not going to understand it. They're not going to have the capacity to understand or help you. So mostly what you're going to get from other people is judgment. Okay. So the links to my crowdfunding sites are going to be I got my thumbs down, so thank you to the hater that came in and thumbs down the video before the live was even done. Okay. But so yeah, I the links to my sites are in the description. And if you guys have any other questions, concerns, and or needs, just hit me up at badasswitches with an easy at gmail.com. Okay. And so until we meet again, my people, keep it classy, keep it clean, and do what you gotta do to make shit happen. Peace.